Now, whenever I get action figures, I'm like, yeah, cool, I wanted this action figure in my collection. Or I see action figures coming out, and it's like, God, I'd love to get that in my collection. But there's two things in the whole world that I really, really wanted to put in my action figure collection. One of them was the SANDCRAWLER, which I now own, thank God. And another thing is that Jabba's sail barge, which is $500, but that's ridiculous. I pulled the trigger, bought it anyways. $500 for that thing. Yes, it's amazing, but $500. Like, if you just think of how much that is, I know when you buy like 4 sets of Marvel Legends, you don't really realize that that was $600. It's just when you spend that much on one toy is when it really kicks in. But this thing is $100. The downside to this is that you can only get it at Disneyland. I've heard of some people getting it online. I wasn't that fortunate, so I took the family to Disneyland, picked one up, and I got another one coming because I got another buddy that already bought me one, but I'm excited. I couldn't wait, and then I'll be getting that one in about a week or so. So if you guys need a SANDCRAWLER, hit me up, like DM me on like Instagram or some shit. It's basically $107 is what I paid for this thing out the door. And if I have to ship it to you, it's going to be like $45 in shipping. I know that seems like a lot, but it is what it is. I'm not going to lose money for hooking you guys up. But if you do want one, I do have an extra one coming, and I'll be more than happy to hook one of you guys up. Unless, you know, you can find one on eBay cheaper than that. If you can, by all means, do that. So when I went to San Diego Comic-Con last year, I talked to the head guy the head guy of Star Wars Hasbro as far as making one of these. I looked him dead in the eye and I said, thank you for making the sail barge, first off. Second off, when are you making the SANDCRAWLER? It's basically the only toy that I really, really, really need in my collection. I go, should I go on eBay and spend $250 on one of those small ones, or are you guys going to make one? Let me know. And he goes, you should probably go on eBay because I don't think that we're ever going to make the SANDCRAWLER. Apparently he didn't know that Disney was making the SANDCRAWLER either, so I didn't go on eBay, thank God. I got one. And when I was there, this is weird, and you know, hopefully nobody gets offended. Well, you probably will. But hopefully not too many of you guys get offended. See, we're nerds. We collect action figures. We ride dirt bikes. Well, I hope some of you guys ride dirt bikes. But we all collect action figures, or you wouldn't be watching this video. When you go to Disneyland, there's like a whole different breed of nerd at Disneyland. They're like the Disneylanders. Like, these people, these girls, will dress up their boyfriend or husband in like a matching sweater and like little mouse ears, and it looks like Sadie Hawkins all over Disneyland. And it gets even worse. Sometimes you'll see groups of these people, like full-grown men and their wife and their kids and multiple families all in one group, and they'll all have like the matching Mickey Mouse gear on. So whenever your friends think you're a nerd because you collect action figures, tell your friends to go to Disneyland, and there's a whole different level of nerd. Let's check out this SANDCRAWLER. Alright, so here it is out of the package in all its glory. This thing is truly amazing. To think that we got this thing for $100. It comes with lights, action, sounds, figures. This is unheard of. I mean, this is like the only thing good from Disney taking over Star Wars is this right here. They care so much about their new properties, and then they do something cool like this for their old movies. First off, this thing is about 20 inches long. You can see it's about 10.5 inches tall, and I've already measured it. It's 8 inches wide. So if you need to see if it'll fit inside your toy room or your shelf, whatever, that's how big it is. Just buy it. You'll find a place for it. It doesn't really matter. As far as what it comes with this Jawa, and a lot of you guys are saying the Jawa sucks. He's really not that good. Well, he is actually pretty good because I pulled out all the other Jawas. I guess I could line them all up. And you can see that he's pretty much just as good as any other Jawa that we've ever gotten. I didn't pull them all out I didn't realize how many different Jawas I had until I started doing this video. Let me come down a little bit. They just keep going. I'm pretty sure this is like the Black Series 1 or something. He actually comes with a cloth cape. Pretty cool. If you pull his little dress up, you can see he's got like real legs under there, which is definitely a cool little holster for his gun. So if you line up all the Jawas, which I'm trying to do. Hey, it's crazy how the most expensive one is always the hardest one to stand because of all the articulation on it. You line them all up. This is the new one. This is the one that comes with the SANDCRAWLER. And you see he's just as good as any other one that we already have. So if you take this one, take this one, because these two are real similar. The Disney one is, I mean, it could use a little bit more love on the paint, but the sculpt is a little, okay, it's a little off, but it's a throw-in figure, and he's still pretty good. He does come with the gun. It comes out of the holster, which it has a Disney stamp right there on the holster. So this thing is actually made by Disney. It's not made by Hasbro. That's probably why Hasbro didn't know anything about it. Here's his gun. His gun looks just as cool as the other ones. They could just use a little bit more attention to detail on this, but we got a SANDCRAWLER. This is like a freebie to me. Here's his little feet. It says China on the foot. It says Disney on his holster. I think he's pretty good. Let me get all these out of here. Line up all these gaunt droids. And there's a little missile bomb thing that I have no clue which one it goes with. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out after the video. It's this little deal. Definitely a little cool accessory. I guess one of those Jawas dropped it. Here's one that looks almost like this one. You're thinking, I already have that one, but it's brown. Well, you don't, because you see this one's skinnier than this one. It's very similar, but different all at the same time. This is the one that you should already have in your collection. That lid comes off because I was thinking it's just the one that I already have, but this thing is not made by Hasbro. It's actually made by Disney, two totally different companies. So they look very similar, but they are different. If you look at the detail, they're totally different molds, and this one's slightly bigger than this one. This is the one that comes with it. I think that's really cool that it comes with it. You can plug that lid back on there. Let me get this. I'm pretty sure that I pulled out one of every gaunt droid that I have. This is the OG one here. I just had to get it. He makes these little ratchet sounds in here. I had one of these when I was a kid, then I got rid of it. Now I bought a new one for I could have one. Definitely pretty cool. Still looks good in your collection to have that. It'll mix right in with the droids. Then you have these ones where you have this button, you can push it on the side and then their legs walk, but then they don't stand, so you got to take like a blaster and shove it in between their legs to get their legs in, like to be still before they can actually stand. If you don't put the blaster in between the legs, this is what they look like, so you can push the button and they walk, which is really cool, but you can't get them to really stand anywhere like that. Like, it just doesn't work. This is the same as that one, but he's got a little hat on him. And I just wanted to show you the walk-in feature as far as that goes. Let's get these things out of here, show you what this thing can do. This toy is truly amazing. Once again, this is $100 plus tax. You can lower this bridge down with this button right here. You notice how I didn't talk over that because I wanted you to hear that really cool little motor sound. You can put the Gonk droid on there, or any droid that you want that will actually fit inside of there, and then bring him up. The paint on this thing is phenomenal. I don't really see how they could have did a better job. Well, maybe they could have did this a little bit more beige than white. It kind of looks like snow, not sand. But I'm not going to complain just because I'm so happy that I finally have a SANDCRAWLER. The sound that you're hearing, I guess I'll go ahead and show you that. One of these little wheels on here has a sensor in it. I'm trying to get this thing in the camera. So when you roll it, it doesn't roll out by itself, but when you push it, it activates that, and that gives it the driving sound. I actually saw somebody else review this toy, and I thought that this thing actually drove by itself, which would have been awesome. It also would have been more money, which I would have gladly spent to drive this thing around my house and chase my dogs with it. That would have been really cool. And here's the back of it. Tons of detail, tons of paint. I think they killed it. Let me kind of walk you around. These are the buttons that activate everything. This one has a light. Well, I'll show you how that works in a second. The two different lights. This is, what is it? I think this is the Jawa sounds, and this is the sound of the SANDCRAWLER itself, and then this is the sound of like the droids. Bring it. Let me show you the top of it. Once again, tons of detail up here. This is one that if you actually did get two, so if I don't sell that other one, it would be cool to display because I could display this side on one of them and the other side on the other one, because you can open this thing up. You can see inside here. Let me try to get you a little bit better angle. There's no love for the paint in there whatsoever. That's like one way that they could have improved on this, but once again, this is a $100 toy, and I think that we definitely got our money's worth. The action inside of here is this little furnace thing. The Gonk Droid was supposed to be on there, but he fell out when I shifted this thing around. There's a button right here on the side. That's definitely cool. You see there's tons of detail inside of it, just no paint detail. They did sculpt it in there. And then also this little lid comes up. I'm not real sure why, but it's cool to have that, you know, for when I'm in here playing with my action figures. And I got a little, you know, pew pew and pew and you moving my stuff around. I just hope that nobody actually catches me doing that. You can put a droid up through here, close this thing back up, turn it around, show you the front of it. Try to get it to where I can actually fit it inside the camera. This front compartment opens up. Another cool feature. This arm comes out. I guess I'll leave this open for I can show you both angles. Then it's got this crane deal here that you just got to move it all by your hand. It's cool. It's no big deal. You can take the Gonk Droid that it comes with. He's got that hole on top of him, and you plug that in right there. That is just so cool that he can do that. Then you can bring him inside. And maybe show you the inside. You can bring him inside, drag this thing in here. Maybe that's like supposed to do something with this. I'm not real sure. It doesn't really work when it comes in here because the rope is too long. It's just cool that it actually does it. And then you have the cockpit on this thing, which I'm going to move the camera up here to show you inside the cockpit. This just lifts up. You could throw a couple Jawas inside of there. It doesn't stay up unless you hold it, apparently. They got some stickers in there in the dash. It's got those two lights. I'm trying to get it to stay. It just won't do it. You can actually clip it right off if you need to, which I'm getting ready to do before I can do this freaking video. There's the two lights here. Let me push the button on it. Hopefully that did it. So you push the button once and it turns these on. You push the button twice. Let me just go ahead and show you how that works. But there's a cockpit lit up. Definitely looks pretty cool. The windows are lit up inside. That also looks really cool. Let me turn this thing around and try to show you this light feature on this, because I thought this was really cool how they did it. Get the camera over here to where you can see it. Okay, so you can see this light is on now. This first button back here activates the lights. You push it again, and now just the headlights are on. Those, and you can push it again, and now they're all off, and push it again. So you can do it to however you want. You can do just these on, both of these on at the same time, or just these on. It gives you combinations as you push the button. turn this thing around. Here's the actual buttons on it. I'm going to do all the sounds. I'm not going to talk over it because I'd hate if you talked over it, because I'd really be excited to see. This is the light button. You push it for the cockpit lights, and you push it again for both lights, and you push it again. So every combination you can do is right here with this button. Then this button, this is all the different Jawa sounds. There's quite a few. Okay, maybe I lied. Maybe that was not a Jawa sound. Tons of different phrases. It just goes forever. Alright, I think we went full circle on that one. Come over here to this button. These are the SANDCRAWLER sounds. And then these are the Droid sounds. That's it. I think that's all the sounds. I'll go ahead and flip this thing around and show you the inside of the thing one more time. I'm going to try to reach through and get you that button. Here's a little elevator. And that's what it looks like on this side. I guess you could put somebody on top of it too, maybe, unless he'll hit his head when he comes all the way up. Alright, just an amazing toy. Let this thing stop growling. Close this thing up. Final thoughts on this. Pick this thing up. It's probably the coolest toy we've gotten all year. It's $100. It comes with 2 action figures. Hopefully you can get one online. You won't have to go to Disneyland to get it. If you got to go to Disneyland, that's not such a bad thing. I think that Star Wars Land opens up this summer. I'll be going back for that for sure. Really looking forward to that. Even if it is based on the new Disney movies, it's something, God, that just bring like the childhood back. I'll probably go to Disneyland all the time just for Star Wars Land. Other than that, Disneyland is like a once every 5 years, and I'm good. Definitely, I mean, I can't say enough good things about this toy. It's a toy that I've always wanted. If you're a Star Wars 3 3/4 fan, you should already have this in your collection. If you're not, just get it and put it on the coffee table or something for when your friends come over. They'll look at it and they'll go, oh my God, is that the SANDCRAWLER? And you just sit there with the proud look on your face and go, yeah. Yeah, it is. That is a SANDCRAWLER. I'm going to put it on the shelf. I'll probably just take some pictures over there, how I'm going to display it. Really don't need to do the whole Star Wars collection because I just did it like 2 videos ago. And like always, guys, thanks for watching.